If you're interested in selling on Amazon and still have not got started, then watch this entire video because I'm gonna give you the game plan, the blueprint, and step-by-step how to go from broke on your couch to making sales online. Now check this out. There are 3 ways of selling on Amazon. Everybody goes and does private label first. This is the wrong way of doing it. Private label is when you're buying product on Alibaba, you're buying Chinese products from overseas, shipping it here, and trying to compete with other sellers who own their own brands. So yes, you own the brand when you do private label, but for beginners, that's not how you get started. So sellers will go in, think their 5, 10K of capital is gonna make it work. It's not. You need a big budget if you're going to create your own brand. Just makes sense, right? From manufacturing units to branding and marketing to having to grow demand to your sales. People think they can just buy something on Alibaba, slap their label on it, and it's gonna sell on Amazon. Number 1, there's way too much competition. Like that might have worked 5, 10 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. So way too competitive. It's a high barrier of entry because A, you need a lot of capital, and B, you need a lot of skills. So it takes skills to brand, market, drive traffic to your listing. You're gonna spend a ton of money on advertising. If you're a beginner, don't do it. The best way of getting started for beginners is arbitrage. So this is when you're walking into Nike outlets, you're walking into Walmart, looking at the clearance section, scanning products, buying them, and selling on Amazon. So for all 3 of these models, we are going to leverage FBA to sell our product. So that's fulfilled by Amazon. You're gonna buy your product, do an FBA shipment, send it into Amazon's fulfillment centers, and then when customers buy the product, that's the beauty of this business. Amazon will send it directly to the customers. You don't have to do anything. Just gotta get the products there. So with arbitrage, yes, it's the best way to get started, but it is also the most competitive. Anybody can do this, and after a while, it's just a race to the bottom. It's called price tanking. So one seller will come in, price 1 penny below, another guy comes in, 1 penny below, 1 penny below, 1 penny below, and after a while, there's no profit for anybody. Yes, it's great to get started because you literally can walk into a Walmart, spend $10 on a product, list it online that same day, and you'll make sales. But after a while, number 1, Amazon does not want sellers selling big name brands like Nike, Adidas, Puma, Hoka, anything like that. So eventually you're gonna get kicked off listings. And number 2, you're not really building any sort of relationship and you're not building any equity in a brand. So it's great to get started, not a great way to scale. Now this is stupid easy. Anybody who starts selling on Amazon and has no experience, I always point them to do arbitrage first. This is so stupid easy. I'll do it myself. I'll create a video. I'll post that as well. The 3rd way of selling on Amazon is by doing wholesale. So that's what I do. I personally started doing arbitrage. I'd buy and flip stuff here and there. I ended up buying textbooks on Craigslist. I'd resell them on Amazon. I'd buy iPhones off Craigslist. I'd resell them on Amazon, but you can't scale that business. You're always limited to how many products you can buy. And the biggest issue is you end up running out of profitable inventory. With wholesale, this is an easy way to scale your business. This is where we're buying in bulk from distributors, authorized distributors, and directly from brands. Now, over the years, I've built my business. We've sold multiple 8 figures in sales over the years, and it's legitimately from buying directly from distributors, directly from brands, reselling on Amazon. So the difference here is everybody does wholesale where they only buy from distributors. Yes, you can place large orders. Yes, you can scale quickly, but so can everybody else. You're not necessarily building a relationship. Unless you have a specific relationship with the sales rep or anything like that. This also has a lot of competition. The real winner is by working directly with brands. So this is called the brand growth partner model. That's what I do. And I've now partnered with over 25 brands to where I'm their authorized seller on Amazon. So if you like content just like this and want to see me scale my own business in real time, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube @JonahHodges_. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what else you want to see. If you're just getting started, you're not going to partner with a brand from day one, so you have to do the step-by-step. Start with arbitrage, get a few sales, transition into wholesale, call up brands, call up distributors, and after a while, then you want to be an authorized seller and be their go-to guy for Amazon. The gold mine with wholesale is getting exclusive deals. Now, this is where you're the exclusive seller on Amazon. There is no competition. How can there be competition? You're the only seller, but the way you do that and get to there is by adding value to your wholesale partners. Biggest point about wholesale is value. And this honestly goes for any business model. You're not gonna grow a business without adding value. Private label, building your own brand, yes, that's great. Ton of value, yes, you can exit the business, but think about how much goes into actually building your own product, a lot. Arbitrage, very little value. You're just finding stuff for cheap, selling it for high. Wholesale, it's less transactional where you're buying and selling. It's more relationship based. That's why I love it and why I've been able to scale how I have. Now, to get started, you probably don't even have a seller account yet, anything like that. I'm gonna break down the step-by-step way of how you're gonna get started, how you're gonna open your seller account, and how you're gonna scale your business. Step 1, create an LLC. If you're gonna be serious about this business, you need to have an LLC. No wholesale vendor, brand, or distributor is going to sell to you if you're not a business. So after a while, you're gonna wanna be a business owner. You need to have an LLC to do so. Create an LLC. You can do this by yourself for free or hire somebody like LegalZoom, pay them $200, something like that. They'll expedite it, they'll do everything for you, and you then will have an LLC. You also want a seller's permit. You need a seller's permit because if you're buying in bulk from brands or distributors, you have to have a reseller's permit. So depending on the state you live in, you can just Google this: California reseller's permit, Delaware reseller's permit. Not every state requires one, but most do, and I recommend you get one. After this, you're gonna go to Amazon and open a seller account. You go to sell.amazon.com, and it's very simple. From here, you're gonna plug in your details. You can either choose an individual account. An individual account is literally free. Terrible handwriting. Literally free, but if you're still wondering, should I get into Amazon, should I not? Just know you can open a seller account for free. There's no risk in doing so. You might as well do it. But after a while, you're gonna want a professional account. That is $40 per month. So if you're serious about your business and scaling, you need a professional account. This is where there's a ton of benefits in having one. You're gonna then have the ability to win the buy box, and that is how you scale business. To have the buy box on Amazon means you're the featured offer. You're gonna buy your product in bulk, you're gonna either prep it yourself, ship it into Amazon, or you're gonna use what's called a prep center and pay anywhere from 40 cents to $1 per unit. They will prep all your units for you, ship it into Amazon, and then once it checks in, that's when the sales start rolling in. So there you have it. If you still are not selling on Amazon, choose one of these models. I recommend one of these two personally. I know guys that do private label and that's great, but if you're a beginner, be careful. A lot of guys are just lighting their money on fire, buying stuff from Alibaba and thinking it's gonna sell. Choose one of these models, create an LLC, get a seller's permit, go and open an Amazon seller account. You cannot do anything without a seller account. So if you're serious, do that. Follow me for more, and I'm gonna take you step by step. Next day, I'll show you exactly how to source products to then sell on your storefront.